listening to my car here.
Yeah. So he has a gig tonight, so we're just going to do a little talk here. And people should know about this CD, Sugar Bowl. I discovered it a couple of years ago. Just fell upon it on YouTube. And I was like, what is going on here? With this guy, it was a bass player from Great White. And listen to him, he's singing. Yeah, and he's singing and he's playing guitar. I was very impressed, so I got the CD. And tell me, Tony, these songs, how did this all come about?
Well, actually, we had been doing pre-production for Jack Russell's Great White. You know, we've been doing pre-production, and what that means for those who don't do this kind of stuff, it means you're basically everybody's kind of submitting songs that they wrote or parts, and you're hoping that your parts are going to be used or your songs are going to be used, and basically it's the beginning of the process of putting an album together. And I had submitted, of course, I jumped right in, and I was playing guitar with Jack at that time. And I don't know what happened, but basically all of the songs that I suggested or threw into the hat there just got ignored pretty much. The only song that we worked on for that album was Sign of the Times,
okay,
which is brought to the band and a demo I brought to the band, and it became the lead-off single for that album. But apparently nothing else I did was good enough, or
wow,
they didn't like, or whatever. And they just went off and started working on it themselves, just Jack and Robbie. So I had a bunch of music, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna go make my own album. Yeah. And that was the impetus for it. And I decided I wanted to play with one of my favorite musicians, and that was a guy named Brent Arsamont. And Brent had worked with me before in California here. He had since moved to New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And so I called him up and said, I'd really like to work with you. And so he said, great, but it's got to be in New Orleans. And I'm like, well, that sounds actually kind of cool, because, it's a real vibe, it's a real vibey place, right? Sure. I've always loved it. And so I said, yeah, that actually is going to work out. So, bought a ticket, went out there to New Orleans, and, probably went there maybe 10 times over the making of that album. And a friend of ours had a studio there named Jack Millet, and we started working out of his studio, and started working with some of the local talent there. Some really great players. Tony Hall, who's just a monster bass player, who's played with Ivan Neville. He's played with Bob Dylan. He's done, some unbelievable work. We got to use him and a couple of great singers, girl singers, particularly Talissa Long and Vegas Cola. Both these girls were just amazing, and just really lent to the cohesiveness of the album.
Yes, I agree.
And so we throw it together, and the songs just started coming out.
Let's get into the songs right now, because I think they're really important that people are going to hear them as we talk about them. Okay?
Oh, sure.
So, all right. So let's start Love Song.
Yes.
Now, to me, that one sounds like perfect pop music, like a perfect pop tune, like radio friendly. Is that what you were going for?
I don't know if that's if we were going that. It just was that.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It came to me on a freeway driving home, and it just came to me, and it's an older song. I've had it in my back pocket for a while. Was that everybody has that sound. So we just, we just kind of you serve the song, and that's how that one came about. So.
Yeah, very catchy. I do like that. I think that's good for an opening song. It kind of reminds me of like one of those '90s kind of pop songs, the good ones, not grungy.
Sure, it probably is the odd man out of the album, but I've always loved it, and so I mean, I was advised, maybe it doesn't fit. I go, I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
Part of me and what I'm doing, it's something I want to say, and so there it goes.
Right. And the second track is Misery. That one you get a little heavier there, and I love the female vocals. Whoever's singing with you in the back sounds great.
That's Robin Barnes.
Okay.
Robin is a New Orleans talent. Yeah, she's a wonderful singer too, and we just wanted that. We wanted to be kind of swampy and dirgy. That was the track that really did give us the impetus to really go for the entire album.
Cool.
That was one of the first tracks we.
Nice.
Yeah, that one was important to me.
Okay, and then we have track 3, The Grind.
The Grind is a song that was suggested to me 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. By my old manager, Alan Niven, Alan was a Great Whites manager and Guns N' Roses. And he, I left the business pretty much at that time. And I kept in touch with him. And he said, you should listen to this song. You should remake this one. Because basically I was living that life at the time. I was living the grind, I changed my life and career and was working for the man. And that's what that song's about. Great song by Tommy Bolin. I think that is one of the greatest rock songs I've ever heard in my life. When you're down and without a friend, Mr. Broken Glass, Mr. Silver and Gold, Mr. Bust in my ass, Mr. Royal Canal, Mr. Broken Glass. We have the Jimmy Bones play piano on that, and he's part of Kid Rock's band. He's a great piano guy.
Cool. Sugar Bowl. Now that's the one I found online. I just think that is the coolest song. I love the story behind it. I watched the video, and I wanted to ask you this. Did you come up with that analogy?
Actually, it is, and the truth is that it is an actual artifact. It was the first purchase that I had made with my then fiance to be my, who's going to be my wife. And it was us starting our life together, and you start doing things together and buying things together, and we needed a sugar bowl, and so we bought this thing, just kids, and we kept it all those years, and and I'll tell you that the sugar bowl that's on the cover of the album is the actual artifact.
Wow.
It is actually the actual sugar bowl.
Oh, wow.
So, and I think it is a great metaphor, obviously, like a vessel.
Absolutely.
You have left it untended, our sugar bowl. When you said you needed me alive, and
ready to roll. And gosh, that's my favorite on the whole thing.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
yeah. You know
For
what? That's
sure.
a sleeper. Right?
Yeah, that's the best.
I've one in my back pocket for a long time as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah, yep. I play that in my car for people, and every single person that has heard that song, or they all love the whole thing, but especially that one. That's a good one.
Well, that's cool.
That's a good
It was
one.
it was a guilty pleasure for the most part, and I told that to our mixing engineer Sylvia Massey.
Mm-hmm.
She it was one of the last songs we mixed, and I felt a little bit guilty because it's indulgent.
Yeah.
As a music guy, get to play a lot of guitar on it, and yeah, that's probably one of my favorite tracks too.
Never let you down. I am ready. I don't have one single possession, even sold my soul just to lighten the load. I spent my last $5 on a little protection on it.
It's reminding me of all the work that we did for the album and the clubs and stuff. And so it was a nice retrospect for me. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. All of them was fun. I've always loved that song by Gnarls Barkley.
Does that make me crazy? I might be crazy, possibly.
Across what I thought was a good treatment, which turned it into what's basically is a kind of a blues shuffle. Different time signature, really, for those music nerds out there. Mississippi.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Track in that my old manager, his name's Pete Merluzzi. He was involved with the band Tangier as well. Song and, from them, and he said, why don't you just try an acoustic version of it? And I was like, yeah, I'm not a big acoustic player, but I thought, all right, whatever. And basically, that's me and a microphone and 2 passes at acoustic guitars, and no vocal editing or tuning or anything like that. It's pretty naked. So it makes me uncomfortable to listen to it because it is
it's
in
bare.
your face. But maybe I guess that's the nature of it.
Lightning strikes, let the storm begin. Oh, roll along the wagon wheel. And all I got, and all I own, the only place I can call my own, Mississippi.
Innocent Enough, yeah, that was one of the last songs I brought in.
Okay.
And that one was, we were on a tear, boy.
Love that
we
one.
Wanted to
yeah, that's up there for me.
And that one was fun. And, that's something else.
I like the lyrics in that. It tells quite a story.
Yeah, it's a pretty dark tune, and it's my favorite. It is my favorite on the album.
Really?
Yeah. I love the ambience of it, and I love the girls.
Yeah.
The girl, that right there is Talissa Long singing all those background vocals, and she was just amazing.
She's great.
I love the instrument that I was really favoring at that time was I have a Paul Reed Smith hollow body guitar that I bought from a friend. It's one of the first PRSs that I've owned. So present and so, I don't know, it felt magical in my hands at that time. And it was just sustaining forever. It was just weird. And so I just really enjoyed playing the track, and I felt like it all just kind of coalesced into, a really its own thing, its own statement. I dig it. I dig that one. That's my favorite track.
Well,
I would love to make a video for it, but we're kind of past that point.
Anything else up your sleeve musically?
Well, there are several tracks that have not been released that are from that album. One of them is called Diana. We will probably drop that as just an additional single, just to kind of cherry on top for Sugar Bowl. Yeah. And we did an acoustic version of Sugar Bowl. And that was mixed actually by a different engineer. He's a wonderful engineer out of Nashville, and he did such a great job with it. The acoustic version is pretty vibey, and
is that the saccharine version? I saw one called the saccharine version.
The saccharine version, yeah, right, the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah. All right. So I do have a couple of questions. I want to say that I watched for anyone who's watching, Todd Kearns did an interview with you, and you can find out a lot more about Tony's background as far as music. I thought he did a very good job. I know Todd from Creatures Fest. Yeah, right. He's got that Kiss connection. A lot of my audience are Kiss fans, and Todd does a great Paul Stanley. Yeah.
He is pretty tight with Bruce Kulick.
Yes. Yep.
So those guys are they all live together there, and they live around each other there in Vegas, and so.
Right. And
Yeah,
speaking of Kiss, I'm going to ask you one of my questions I ask everyone. What's your favorite Kiss song? You don't have to tell me if you like them or not. Just pick one that you like. If you.
That's a tough one. Oh, I'm a casual Kiss fan.
Okay.
I've played Deuce before.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed that. That was fun. That was fun. So Deuce.
That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. All right. I always ask everybody that, and I'd like to know also, what's up with the name Shadow and the Thrill? What's that about?
That was kind of, dreamed up by my old manager, Pete Merluzzi. We wanted something that was a little bit comic book-like, and he's a big radio fanatic, old radio fanatic, and he loved all those old
the Shadow Nose, yes,
serials,
yeah,
which were on radio back in the 40s and 50s. Really cool stuff, actually. It's kind of interesting. Yes. So then we add the Thrill as a nod to the blues and to like B.B. King, and so that's kind of where that all came from.
Okay, and I also want to say that not only being a fantastic singer and musician, etc., but you also have a very good sense of humor. I've enjoyed your reels on Facebook. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Got some good one.
That's funny.
My favorite one right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Here, but my favorite one is I was just in Indiana with Jack Russell, and sitting in a car, rent a car, going to Starbucks, and this massive thing flies and sticks on my window. This thing, I'm like, it was huge. I was like, is that a fly? And it was a fly. It was the biggest fly I've ever seen in my entire life. It was bigger than my thumb.
Oh my God. Yuck.
And I just, it was killing me. So I took a picture of the video of it and put my hand up next to it just so that people could have a frame of reference. So big ass horse flies in Indiana, and they bite. Yeah. And apparently they want to get in your so.
But yeah, that one in Motel 6. What the hell was that thing in the trap that was going in the pool? That was the best one. The hotel, when you said, I'm trying to take a nap, and they were putting stuff in the pool. That was hysterical.
I have no idea. Like, you know what?
That was fun.
It was one of the it was literally the number 2 shittiest hotel I've ever been in my life. Gotcha. Number 2. I've been in thousands across planet Earth. Thousands. This was number 2. All right, it was Super 8.
Super 8.
And I can't remember where it was. I can't remember the city. They were so cheap. They had a pool outside, and they just didn't want to maintain the pool anymore. So they brought a guy with that big wrecking ball, and he was dropping the wrecking ball to break the bottom of the pool so that the water, I guess, that they would break all of the plumbing, and I just couldn't believe it.
I really wanted to take a nap, but
bulldoze some dirt in it or something.
It looked like trash. It looked like trash.
I think it called a splashdown and stinky.
Splashdown, yeah. What on earth? You said something like that.
I think I called it splashdown and stinky town.
Yep. It's been great. I really enjoyed talking about the songs.
Pleasure for me.
Yeah.
If it can happen.
And
enough to kind of go through the songs and what they're about, and it means the world to me, and it's a very personal piece of work, and so will the next one be, and that's what we're working on right now. So the follow-up to all of that music is coming, and we're working on that as we speak.
And as far as there are dates scheduled for shows, and I'll just link them into the description. I'm going to see one next month in Arizona, and I'm so excited.
Yep.
So
we'll be in Phoenix, Tucson next month.
Yep.
2nd and 23rd, And I suspect that we'll be in Nashville at the end of October, is what I've been told. So we'll be doing that. I also think that El Paso and Las Cruces, New Mexico are coming up. So we're going to get out there and play a little bit. You know, it's too to just stay at home and just, you know, play in the studio. We want to get out and see our friends, you know.
I think that's great.
It'd be great.
All right. Well, I will see you next month then. And thanks again. And have a great show tonight with Great White.
All right.
All right.
Let me know where you're coming, and we'll make sure that we get to spend some time.
Sounds great. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.